Welcome back, noble heroes. We return to the party in Bridgewalk, where our characters are finding out secrets and information about the outer world and about themselves. Faylene is going to turn towards you. So, how are you doing?
I'm okay. Kind of some weird stuff going on, but not really the place to talk about it.
She nods.
You want to get some food?
She nods. Have you met the queen?
Yeah, she's nice. She's kind of off-putting. Seems like an actual good leader. For a monarch, it seems rare.
Is that off-putting?
I remember what Garen was like under one king.
Well, the winter children do have fate to aid them, she says. And how have your companions proven to be?
Pretty dependable.
With that sputter, I wasn't sure exactly what you were going to say.
I mean, the ones I was aware of before, well, the one I was aware of before is Isaac's been pretty fantastic and formidable. Everybody just pulls their weight. Everybody's kind of come through when they're needed.
Impressive.
Yeah.
Well, I won't pry into them, she says. But, oh, yes. She's going to, go like that and then flick you hard on the forehead.
Yeah. I probably had that one coming.
That was a week and a half ago. Leslie asked me to do that. Have you finally sent her something?
Yeah, yesterday.
Yesterday.
Or tonight.
When you get back to your room.
I already did it.
I don't believe you.
I already did it. You did it.
He did actually do it.
She goes, and do you feel like you've been able to step into a leadership position?
Sorry.
No, not really. I feel like I'm just on another crew.
Has somebody else been calling the shots?
Godmother for the most part.
That Jennifer?
Mm-hmm.
And how's that going?
Feels natural. She's kind of, she's very authoritative. And then Euphemia, it's her ship, so half the other time there's a captain. Been on ships a lot. I don't like it.
You keeping up with training? She
Every
says
day.
as she is loading some stuff onto a plate. Very light meal.
Every day.
Good.
I've been training the Meek too. He's pretty tough for a little guy.
The meek.
Yeah. He's brave.
He's brave.
Yeah, and I mean, people hardly notice him, so he kind of just gets to run around and do whatever he wants. Honestly, he's even pretty helpful.
Good. I'm glad.
He also picks up on things that are going on that everybody else kind of isn't attuned to. It's pretty interesting.
Is that working well?
Yeah, I mean, he's kind of calling people on their shit.
There's a lot of that.
A little bit. As you can imagine, a bunch of strangers thrown into a situation aren't really that quick to come out and put everything on the table.
Even with the prophecy?
Yeah, I mean, everybody was having their own lives before this started. I was the only one just waiting for the next order.
Okay. Well,
They're taking care of me. I feel safe.
all right.
You guys don't have to worry about me. I'm starting to feel like you're here to check in on me.
I am not.
Okay.
It's just a side benefit.
Okay.
You are going to hear announcing. I apologize. You hear. Announcing the family of Mothorn.
Do I look over and see her walking in, or?
No, I went down. I did not go down that one.
no.
I went down a side staircase, and
Okay.
I am already over at the dessert table.
That'll be red.
Oh.
She says.
That's great.
You are suddenly going to see.
Don't tell her that.
You are suddenly going to see Red Chaos, a muscular, if somewhat short man. He's probably only about 5'5". Come out from the crowd and sort of like reach out. He has on a thick red cloth hood over his face, and he is going to like lightly pluck one of the tickets from Faylene. I'll be right back, he says. And he is going to sort of jump back, and you hear vaguely like, oh, look, it's... And, oh my gosh! And then you just see people like sort of like looking around. What was I saying? And then he's going to appear in maybe another minute and a half. He goes, man, it's a good thing those guards are spread out about, the size of my body, he says.
Because he had to sneak in without his ticket. Oh my god, that just occurred to me. That's so funny.
He goes, what's up, son of a bitch?
I was gonna say he tenses up immediately when Red comes. Like he gets ready to get punched or like get like tried to fight with. Like he gets like ready for it every time, like a little brother or something.
He's gonna go like that, and then he grabs you around the neck and brings you in for a hug.
Does your hat fall off?
Oh yeah, forgot I was wearing a hat. Also, if a hat falls off, not picking it back up.
Just casually scooted under a lady's long fluffy dress.
He says, you look terrible, but at least you got the tips of your ears.
How you doing, man?
He goes, about to be drunk, so all right.
Also, this one's no help. Why are you here?
He says, well, actually, it was my fault. When I got to Cross, well, you know what? It's a long story. Basically, Harper.
Okay. Because I've been feeling like she's just here to check in on me.
He goes, I mean, that was probably Harper's doing, so.
Well, yeah, man, I'm really glad to see you guys. I don't know if I'm going to make it back for the tournament. I hope I do.
Really?
Prophecy stuff.
Yeah, but like, fate's all...
I know.
He goes, well, either way, if you can't make it back, I might actually win something, so that'd be nice.
You win stuff.
Yeah, but they never give me the medal.
True.
He goes, I need to get like, what do you think? Can I just put like a hood on somebody and have them represent me?
Have a doppelganger who accepts the award.
Where are your prophecy buddies?
Who can I see anybody?
You can probably see me.
You can see Euphemia.
Euphemia probably would have gone and joined Bali over at the bar.
At the bar, I was gonna say. Pirates are probably at the bar. I'm not sure where the tiefling is, and I definitely would have preferred to you all as what you are.
The tiefling, the pirate,
the tiefling, the pirate,
godmother.
the godmother. Like that's exactly how I would refer to you. to
I'm
my
okay with
friends.
Zarafem is here as
100%
well,
fine.
she says towards Red. He goes, oh, I hate that guy.
How do you hate that guy?
What, Zarafem?
He's a freaking angel.
He's always seeing everything.
Oh, he's you?
No, not like, just all the stuff. when you're trying to have like a little sneaky time.
Uh-huh. You're thinking you'd be sick of sneaky time.
Why would you think that?
Because it's all the time.
I'm offended.
Shut up.
He goes, all right, so teammates suck? How's this prophecy business? That shit suck?
It's all right. It's cool.
Yeah? Man, your prophecies are way better than mine.
Well, it's long.
Usually there's like some kind of toothy monster or some shit at the end that you gotta fuck with.
There's been toothy monsters.
Oh, okay. What kind?
There's a giant...
Bat monsters?
It's a giant frog thing at one point.
Giant frog thing?
Yeah, it sucked.
I've never had a frog thing.
It was not cool.
The worst ones, though, are bug things.
I don't like bug things. I killed a dragon the other day, though.
Faeline's gonna she kind of nods excitedly. So, he's gonna grab your shoulder real quick. All right, this whole shit, this fate shit, this is your moment, man. No, I'm not kidding, right? So listen, I've got a theory.
Uh-huh.
This, right now, is the most exciting moment in all of history.
I mean, it's definitely new.
Exactly. It's freaking new. We can actually do stuff, right? What if fate's all wibbly wobbly and you can actually make a choice? Or you could lose. He says, insanity. Can you imagine? All these fated oaths are going to break. Swindlers. He says, it's going to be nuts. I can't wait. You are insane, Faeline says to Red. Don't listen a thing to him. It is an important time in order to take our duties most seriously. That's exactly what it's not time for. Do not do that, he says towards you. He says, I don't fucking care about them. They're not going to remember, he says when Faeline looks around. He goes, but you, I'm going to write you a note, all right? I'm going to carve it on your forehead. Important time.
I'm not going to be able to read the message from my forehead, man.
Yeah, but everyone else will. That's important too.
Okay.
You got to tell everybody else.
All right.
You got to be my messenger, all right?
Okay.
I'm going to throw a rock at you inside your window, wherever you are, and it's going to land on you. You're going to pick it up and be like,
important
what the hell
time.
is this? Oh, it must be from Red because it's written in blood.
I missed you so much.
He goes, no, you didn't. That's the thing. But you might.
Oh my god, nobody makes me laugh like you, man. Oh my god.
Except for him.
You gotta meet the tiefling's little sidekick.
Okay, it's kind of racist. You keep calling him the tiefling, but sure.
Alright. He's gonna grab Red and try to find Isaac in progress.
All right, so you have, if you grab Red, you have the weird experience of whose hand am I holding? Oh, it's Red's. Whose hand am I holding? Oh, it's Red.
And we just abandon Faeline.
All right, Faeline is going to cross her arms and say, duty, Roland, as you travel off through the crowd. Do you want to dance? Zarafan says towards Juniper.
Sure.
As you head onto the dance floor, you're going to see an odd look on Zarafan's face. He seems thoughtful, almost bemused.
Penny for your thoughts? Copper for your thoughts?
I think they're about to close the doors, he says. You hear the door shut in the distance. He goes, and he looks over as Queen Estrid comes to sit up on the highest seat at the table. He goes, do you really want to dance?
Yes.
He's going to smile. And then he is going to step off the stage or off the floor real quick and go over to the band. And he'll sort of request a song. And then he'll come back into the center. He says, I'm surprised they knew it. And then you're going to hear the horns pick up in a much more upbeat dance. There is a look of excitement, sort of a newness in Zarafen's eyes, as he takes a first acrobatic steps towards you, beginning the dance. He really intends to dance.
Like, define. I'm trying to. I have ideas of where you're going for with this, but I feel like I should know discern like exactly what it is.
So you're not 100% sure, but Zarafen seems to be suggesting that he's not going to hold back, and neither should you.
Okay, yeah, that's where I was going with that. Since the whole... They've been relatively open on the ship and all. At this point, she's been bearing all forever. Everything else, she might as well. And she will do the same.
You all are going to hear the quickened pace of the music that ramps up into a much more fast step beat rather suddenly. And you can tell that most of the nobles have no idea what this dance is, as several of them clear off of the stage, the ballroom floor, leaving the sides quite crowded and the floor quite sparse. And all of you are going to turn and see one couple lighting up the dance floor.
We're so shocked.
I know.
You will see Juniper and Zarafen begin to spin in perfect harmony around one another. And there is a certain powerful athleticism, like the tango a little bit, to their movements, with sort of a quick step jazz beat on the side as the two of them move with forceful purpose across the dance floor. And you realize with some small amusement that they must be trying to show off. You and Bali, Bali's going to turn towards you and hand you a brandy. Is that a good drink for Euphemia?
Port would be preferable.
All right. She's going to hand you a glass of port. Comes in glasses, right? Yeah.
Little glasses.
Okay.
Yuffie would say, hey, tonight's not just about me. Let's just forget everything tonight and try to enjoy ourselves. Okay?
She nods. She's going to hear the false announcement at the front. What was that? Mm-hmm. She says. How did the private meeting go?
Is she referring to the meeting with
before you all came?
With us, that was without them.
Mm. She'll say, more secrets, more fate, more things that... Can we save this till tomorrow?
Sure, I was more ribbing you than anything else. She says,
I'd give anything to be out of meetings and just on the sea doing what we do.
Hey. I'm here.
She kind of nudges her a little. I know. But you get caught up in my shit all the time. It doesn't feel right to burden you with everything.
I need your help.
Name it.
I want to hit on the dancer.
Yuffie was in the middle of taking a sip of her port and just kind of...
see her eyebrow? It's got a little cut in the center of it.
She takes a very, subtle glance. Yeah.
She's into ladies.
What? How does that... What if she just has a scar?
She's going to, grab your hand. Go in.
Do you want me to be your wing woman?
That's not what she was asking, dear.
Reach
Wait.
in.
Oh! Okay. To her?
That's what she says. She looks down sort of meaningfully at your hands.
Are you sure? She says.
Just do it.
She stares at her straight in the face as she reaches in.
You think Bali is focusing because there is an immediate wash of horrible embarrassment. As you put your hand into Bali, you are going to see a hidden side of her life. Bali is bi, and she has been too embarrassed or too secretive as a pirate to let that side of her life out.
How did you know?
I knew it. I knew it.
You see that she has been contemplating this and was about to tell you when you were in Garen, but the whole fate business threw it off. She's had it in the back of her mind now for nigh 3 months, thinking about when to reveal it to you. But then she saw that beautiful half-elf girl right there and knew she was going to need your help. At the very least, she has a humorous idea of her standing on your shoulders, so she appears at the same height.
Please don't do that.
Euphemia looks at her in the eyes, as if to get the go-ahead when to...
You also feel a commitment. That she thinks this mission and your mission can work in conjunction now. That the last couple of weeks have proved it in her eyes. And she's all in.
Euphemia's relief on seeing that in her friend, for sure, as opposed to just her saying it. It's a palpable relief as she pulls her hand back. Hey.
So she kind of looks over in her direction.
I got you, she says.
You suddenly hear the dance floor pick up. Master. Your father is quite serious about the bounty. It is 1 million gold pieces. But he wants you alive, Master.
Well, that's a relief.
That's good.
Tell me.
Excuse me, sir. You hear from behind you. You turn and see a teal tiefling man.
Teal?
Yes, he's teal.
They come in teal?
I would like this tiefling in teal.
I don't think they do.
What?
That would be an,
Sorry.
Oh no.
Freaking tea got me earlier and I can't stop.
The teal?
it would be an
The
absurdly
tea,
rare
the tea
skin
ones.
color for a tiefling, wouldn't it?
So, the tieflings of 5e, tieflings from the pit are just varying devils.
So it
And
could be a
they pretty much
descendant
came in
of a-
every color.
Okay, that makes sense.
Sorry. I just never pictured a tiefling in teal. I'm alright now. Continue.
All right. A teal tiefling man who you are going to recognize is he sort of has a collar that suggests that he is a Selenoxian tiefling. He is going to sort of like tap on the back of your shoulder. He goes, I thought I heard your name. Isaac Crowley. He's going to like reach out his hand towards you. He says, you probably don't remember me. It was you very young. He says, I'm Matan Sept.
Can I try and remember him?
You vaguely think that at one point he was part of like the lords that your father like met with, but like sort of got like you think there was something about him falling on hard times and then he left.
Okay. I do in fact remember seeing you in my father's study.
Matan's face is fairly gaunt. He has a very old face and sort of a pointed chin. He's fairly clean shaven, and his horns are sort of like almost antlerish. He has a very odd skin color, and as such, he's wearing like a particularly bright opposite color as his garb. His eyes are like devilishly red, but that's just their natural color. He would be one of the tieflings that like people would be like, "Oh, this is a devil." But you've met tieflings that look like this all the time.
Right.
His hands sort of have that like aged, like veiny, knuckly appearance. He's going to say, "Oh, you're here in Bridgewalk."
I am, but I could ask you, what are you doing in Bridgewalk?
Oh, it is such a tale of woe, Isaac, he says. Do you remember back when the docks used to be, well, I suppose you would say a place that our kind rarely went?
I do, yes.
He says, well, I'd say about 20-ish years ago. The luxury cruise liner business, that was my trade, he says. Unfortunately gained a rather ugly reputation. You see, criminals began purchasing these yachts and using them to smuggle their drugs, he says, as you are the inventor of this technique, and you're the one who originally did it.
That is not a very good look for business, I agree. That
He
must
goes,
have been difficult.
And the authorities of Selenox, rather than attempt to search these yachts for drugs, merely began to charge exorbitant taxation on the yachts themselves so that more of them could not be put on the water, driving all but the monopolistic few out of business. I was one of them who was driven out of business. You remember when you bought your first yacht from me?
I remember it fondly.
You remember stuffing it with drugs and using your men to run it back and forth between the docks and ports of side cities.
You suck so much.
Yep. Yes, you do. This poor fellow has no idea.
He goes, well, after I fell on hard times, I was bought out by a group of the clergy. And, well, Bridgewalk has been much better for me since then. You know, we need port sides and water for yachts and no big boats. I've gone on small, venturous boats, pleasure craft, more than the yachts that I used to sell in Selenox. But business is fine, never as good as it was.
It takes a businessman of exceptional talent to make that sort of pivot and recover like that.
You'll have to thank my son for that. He's a little younger than you are, but when he came of age, he's got a real brain on him.
Ah, wonderful. Is he here at the party?
Oh, no, he's in Selenox, in fact.
I see.
He says, oh, is this your manservant? He says towards Prongor, who's sort of like quietly, standing adjacent to you.
Ah, yes, this is Prongor. With me always.
He goes, the humans always do good labor, don't they?
That they do.
He goes, oh, and I see you've upgraded this one. That's impressive. Is that your fate?
Part of it, yes. I tend to tinker with, clockwork and such things.
He goes, like a beast.
What would he mean by that?
He means that he's a Selenoxian noble.
Oh,
He's a giant dickwad.
yeah.
Who thinks other creatures are just beasts and food to him.
Isaac keeps composure. He knows Prongor isn't going to be phased like that. Or
He
by
goes,
that.
You remember not your first business partner when you were, what, a 13-year-old boy? Or were you more like 7? I can't remember. Your original gang boss, not
Yeah.
Callan.
I remember him.
He goes, I used to work very closely with Note, he says. And he would tell me all the time when he got drunk in my estate about your incredible abilities. He said that you could make things fly into the air, little messages that woofed about the city.
That is how I got my start.
He says, undetectable messages and no messengers. Incredible.
Exactly. Sometimes I fear for how many messengers I put out of business doing that.
If you had gotten into the demolitions business, what the money you could have made. He says, with those strange contraptions that you built, something like a bladed spinny-whirly thing would have destroyed buildings in an instant.
It sounds like you're the one with a mind for business and not your son.
I just always, whenever we would take the yachts out onto the old ruins from the Lich or whatever, I just always consider that land wasted. We could have put docks out there or watery casinos.
Wouldn't
Says-
that be extravagant? Were those out of game? Were those ruins like out in the water?
Yes. So Selenoxian, the tide didn't come in as far into the peninsula, so all of that was uncovered back in Betmorth's day.
I gotcha. Okay.
But the tides have come in and it's all under the ocean.
Well, it does sound like you're swimming with ideas. I have no doubt you'll find even more success here in Bridgewalk.
Well, I'm actually not here to talk about the past, he says. And he's going to kind of pat your shoulder. I actually need a favor. He says, so Nart told me that you had the ability to magically repair objects with your fate.
I can. What did you have in mind?
Well, when I left Selenox, I had a unique possession of tiefling ancestral importance, he says. In fact, it is... So he describes an object that you have heard of, and you thought was in a personal collection you had heard. It is basically the Rosetta Stone of Tiefling kind, the first writing of the Tiefling language in stone. He says, we took the object and, as carefully as possible, attempted to transfer it to Bridgewalk to my new estate when I bought it. But the salty air got to it, and it's covered in a sort of a mold, you could say. And it's in ill repair. It's eating away at it. In a few more years, it won't be legible at all. And then I think we might have to throw it in the ocean for being useless. But if you could use your powers to restore the stone, well, I would certainly pay you a king's ransom.
Have you not brought this by a standard set of mages yet to see if they could repair it with magics?
He says, unfortunately, the stone was placed on Carper's stone from the Lich's lair,
Right.
he says. It has already been enchanted, and they tell me that any more magic would fracture the frame around it.
Well,
It's supposed to last forever. However, the mold eats magic. So I need a fate.
magic eating mold. I'd be willing to give it a shot.
That's lovely. What do you need?
A king's ransom.
He offers you 3 wealth points to restore it.
Holy. I'm getting used to not swearing because of the baby. So
Good job. Good job.
that's a lot of money.
It's 300,000 gold.
Isaac immediately thinks to himself that maybe he's just trying to cash in on the bounty. Is it possible? No, he doesn't say that. He says a king's bounty, and then he also says, we're currently staying in, what's the name of the fortress we're staying in?
Fortress.
Yeah, the Adamantine Fortress. I would need you to have it delivered there for me to operate on it. I can't come to your state.
He says, well, it's hanging on my wall inside of this large container. And the thing is about 25 feet long. Just stone. Would cost me half as much just to move the damn thing.
How much did it cost you to transport it all the way to Bridgewalk?
Well, it was 15 carriages across the way, fully loaded. But I can't let this piece of our history go to waste. I had the money at the time.
I'll compromise. I'll come to your estate and try.
He says, thank you so much. We can't forget where we came from. He says as he sort of places his hand on yours.
I hope you bring back up.
God, me too. Hopefully more than just Pronger, honestly.
Yeah.
Him.
Would go.
He is going to sort of head off into the crowd. June, as you and Zarafan stop, you will suddenly see that there is a small gasp from one of the crowd members. And you will see several feathers have fallen upon the dance floor in your wake. You see Zarafan has a light sheen of sweat and is breathing heavily.
She, not breaking character, takes his hand. Shall we go to the balcony and have some air?
He nods, seeming to regain his composure quickly. The feathers are going to and vanish into dust. Oh, actually, they don't even become dust. They just become nothing.
Yes, she does not allow it to show that she's concerned or anything. She just looks like she had fun, and then she will lead him outside, away from eyes.
You're going to see Dom say, "What a grand illusion!" And he sort of claps his hands. And you're going to see a couple of the people are
And
like, "Oh, okay. Yeah, illusion."
June flicks her wand slightly and then does this grand showy gesture, and lights and feathers flow out.
You hear of awe as people look in that direction. You pass Bali and Euphemia headed up towards the band. As you head to the balcony.
Yeah, at this point, she's not paying attention to anybody. She's pretending to, be perfectly fine, but her attention is 100% riveted on him.
Okay. As you head to the balcony, Zarafan is going to take in the cool air outside.
My heart, tell me what is wrong. It's affecting you, isn't it?
I'm mortal.
Why didn't you tell me?
Because I wanted it to happen.
Please explain.
I'm not going back to heaven now. Not until we're done. I knew you wouldn't let me. But I'm not going to take no. I'm going to help.
She will step close and place her head against his chest and put her arms around him. They had stepped to the side so that unless somebody comes outside to look, it's not like super obvious what they're doing. I hate this, but I love you, and I respect your decision.
You're my light. And always were.
She pulls him very close. Always. You better not do anything stupid.
I can't. You're around to fix it all.
Damn straight. I'm going to assume fireworks happened?
Posix.
Not
Zarafan
fireworks.
says as he turns to the edge of the balcony.
Okay, not fireworks, in fact.
She steps back. I take it you have mail.
I do.
I'm assuming he is behaving differently than normal.
Yes.
Raising an eyebrow. What's wrong?
He's going to step forward. You must sign this contract.
She looks at it first.
It is their highest class of mail, only to be delivered by him to you.
Does it say recipient and the sendee or sender?
It does. The Morning Star.
Ooh.
Rafe will immediately see her expression get very shocked and yeah. Her hand shakes slightly as she reaches out and signs.
With that, he is going to hold up his hand. Quathraris, he says. And you're going to see, burning out of pit fire, a letter appears in his hand. Mail, he says, presenting it to you. Do you want to read it? Go ahead and read it aloud, if you would.
Yikes.
The letter is very plain. A finely scripted letter with no seal is handed to you. White envelope, white sheet. Zarafan is sweating.
Yeah, June's hands tremor slightly as she unfurls it. Juniper, I saw you through the eye and now know that you are more involved than I had first thought. If you want to save the innocent, stop the dragons from going to war. It's growing late, and this world is about to hear me. Fate will hear me. If you get in my way, it will be the last time. I have learned my lessons. Garen's walls won't stop me. The angels won't stop me. Fate won't stop me. Even wish won't stop me. As you have made a study of darkness, I have made a study of your kind. No, I haven't been watching you. But you aren't the only one of your kind left. They abandoned you, child. They never left, just off-put their duties onto your shoulders and made off for greener pastures. They will say it's because of the danger I posed. Perhaps they are right. They are dangerous, and leaving you and them alive is a liability to my plans. Realize the risk I am taking and use your intellect to do the pragmatic thing for once in your existence. I promise this. After I'm done, none of us will have to fear fate ever again. This is the final trial, Juniper. Maybe you are too young to understand it. Maybe you weren't made with the capability to solve this mystery. I was afraid to hurt you before. Afraid you would also be driven mad. I cannot make you understand my sorrow when I heard you were injured. But now you have returned. I cannot be sure of anything anymore. If you want to stop me, you must understand this message. It is the answer. It is my reason for betraying your trust, for yoking the darkness, for dying. All I am has been condensed to this. Learn this, and you will at last understand. Some sort of incomprehensible language. And the moment Juniper finishes reading that last bit, Juniper will immediately fall to the ground in pain and pass out.
Juniper, Zarfin says. You awake. Perhaps some amount of time has passed, but it can't be that long because you and Zarfin and Pozix are still here on the balcony.
I assume that she is currently in his arms.
That is correct. Do you have a reply? Pozix says, rather coldly.
How badly is her head hurting?
Your head is screaming. In fact, every nerve ending in your body is writhing in agony. You feel as though you were pulled apart, only to be put back together by a mad child.
Juniper's hand convulsively. Did I drop them, or did my hands just clutch around them? The papers.
They fell. Zarfin has them.
She will reach out, grab them, and clench them in her fist.
What do they say?
No reply for now. Her voice quivers, and she is clenching her eyes closed in pain at the moment.
One moment, he's standing there, looking down, almost with pity. And then he's gone.
Give me a moment.
Should I go get the others?
No. Just hold me for a minute. She is crying, by the way. Not just from pain.
You're going to see the vestiges of skeletal angel wings form in the air and closing around you before they too turn to ash in the wind.
Don't divas have wings? Or whatever they're called here?
No.
What are they called here again?
Azamar.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, she's actually sobbing into his shirt right now. She's probably not going to be able to speak for a little bit. He wouldn't be aware that this is the first time he's spoken to her or contacted her since the last time they actually met. I'm aware that was very, very not informative to anyone, but he knows what I meant.
Right.
Speaking code over there.
Yes.
Roland. You see Juniper and Zarafan walk off the dance floor. You and Red, you were headed over to
Try to
meet
find
Isaac.
Isaac and Brogor.
You find him just as a old teal tiefling man leaves him. That him? Red
Yeah.
says.
Yeah. Okay.
Isaac, you are going to see a very unusual man walk towards you with Roland in front of him. He has on a red hood that you would immediately recognize. This must be the hero, Red Chaos, apparently best friend of Harper the Bold.
Roland, how much of Harper's crew was here tonight?
I think just these two. Isaac, Red Chaos, Isaac Crowley.
Isaac will say, is his reputation for his ability known by everyone or just Harper's crew?
No, pretty much everybody knows what Red's fate is, like by reputation.
Isaac will say, a pleasure to meet you, sir, and give him a slight bow, but like keeping a point to like keep his eyes on him as he bows.
And this is Prongor.
With your introduction, Isaac's gonna like raise his eyebrows, but he's gonna kind of like step to the side.
Prongor is outed.
He will let Prongor have the spotlight.
He goes, "Hey, mechanical arm, that's cool." Prongor goes, "Thank you, sir. Sir Red." Okay, it's just Tim or Red. You don't have to go with all these fancy titles. I'm not a lord or anything. I'm not even a noble.
Whatever
He
you
goes.
say, Tim.
He nods. Is it Isaac, or is there like a cool short nickname or something, or maybe like a? Do you have one of those titles?
For one of Harper's crew, you can call me whatever you want.
That sounded weirdly sexual.
That's not quite how I meant it.
He goes,
But I see where you're coming from.
"It's good. I don't swing with tails," he says.
Understandable.
He goes, "So, is it Mr. Crowley, or do you? You didn't tell me what you.
You can
prefer.
call me Isaac.
Isaac. Okay, cool. So are you like a duo? You guys come together? Two peas in a pod?
Yep. That's exactly it.
Yes, I serve Master Isaac wherever he goes." Oh, so it's like a weird servant thing.
I do come from Selenox.
He goes, "Weird servant things." Okay. Yeah, this is great. He looks at Roland.
Roland, did you bring Red here just to show him Prongor?
No, he wanted to meet the rest of the gang. He wanted to know who I'm hanging out with.
Okay.
Yeah, he totally didn't bring me here to just look at that guy, he says. That'd be weird.
You want to meet the pirates?
Yeah, sure. There are pirates at this party too?
Pirates and the crew.
What?
They're part of the prophecy. One of
Oh,
them
how
is.
many people are in the prophecy? I thought it was only like 5.
There's 5 of us, yeah.
5? Okay, there's a whole pirate crew involved?
Well, one of them's a pirate, and the crew kind of tags along.
There's only one pirate on the whole crew of pirates?
One pirate's in the prophecy. The crew tags along.
Okay, but the crew of pirates too, right?
They're here.
I don't know what that means.
I mean, they're around.
But they're not pirates around.
God, I just love this miscommunication that's
I
happening.
hate you sometimes.
You're the one who can't freaking talk out of your mouth hole.
You're misunderstanding me on purpose.
No, I'm not.
We-
you haven't
you don't
specified who
exist
the pirates
anymore.
are.
I know.
You don't
I'm just
exist.
watching you too.
We're just arguing.
You have failed to specify which ones are pirates and which ones aren't pirates. So I don't know if they're all pirates or if some of them are pirates, only one pirate.
One of the people in the prophecy is a pirate.
But how many pirates are available for me to flirt with or whatever?
Isaac's going to lean over to Prongor and be like,
I love that.
Actually, there really might be one for you to flirt with. Let's go find out.
Send him up and shot it.
All right, he goes, "You're very excited about this, and that makes me feel very awkward about it. Let's go."
Are you gonna set him up with Johnny?
She's pretty forward. He's really forward.
I don't think she's at the party. Is she?
We're gonna find out.
Oh god.
All right, so you suddenly just like leave. Isaac, they just leave.
Isaac leans to Prongor and says, "This is the most bizarre ball I have ever been to."
He says, "I think it's one of those weird fate things, Master.
I would believe anything at this point.
A man who cannot be remembered can be as embarrassing as he wants, Master, and nobody will ever remember it."
That is so smart. Why didn't I think of that?
He goes, "Because you are very memorable, Master. You need to be pathetic like me in order to not be memorable."
He says the funny shit after we walk away.
Like, damn it, Red, I told you he was cool.
All right. As you walk over, you see Bali and Euphemia pass Juniper and Zarafan, who are on their way to the balcony. As you head up in that direction, you intercept the two of them as they seem to be approaching the band. You are going to hear a somehow familiar voice, Euphemia. Holy shit, Euphemia.
Euphemia's gonna hear that voice and turn around with her port.
You suddenly see red chaos.
She drops her port.
He goes, oh fuck.
You know her?
Yeah, we
met.
slept together.
She looks at him and then looks at
I
Roland.
love that you both said that at the same time.
He is...
Bali's going to turn to you and go, this is the guy?
Well, I didn't remember clearly.
He
When
goes,
she turns to look, I assume she forgets for a minute who she's talking to.
yeah.
Yeah.
He goes, but now you do, right? Like, it was memorable?
She looks at him again. I mean,
It's literally something she talks about on the regular. Bali says.
she elbows her really hard.
Bali is going to look over at you and sort of like, she kind of gives you like yeah, she talks about it.
I remember it happened.
Well, Euphemia knows that she did because Red left her a note afterwards to remind
He
her
wrote
that
me a letter.
he has a letter he has to leave with everyone he sleeps with, so they know that there wasn't something weird that happened to them overnight.
That's responsible of
Super
him, actually.
noble.
Good job. Good job, Red.
I do still have your letter.
He goes, really? That was a... Okay. He
It
goes,
was a fancy of youth. It's... Oh, God.
There's rocks!
Red is her face.
Bright red.
God, I wish I could see
Like,
this. but
all the
still,
life that had been
so
sucked out of her for the day so far, it's back in her face.
That breathy right there is the best moment of roleplay.
so not fair. Why can't I see this?
Roland he bolts. He goes back to where it's to see if Isaac is still over where he was.
all right, so you just like leave him.
Yes.
And Red approaches you.
Oh God.
You're the pirate?
The fated pirate, that's me.
Who's the captain?
Also me.
You got promoted.
Yeah, you could say that.
He says, you know who still remembers you? The bear.
I bet he tells a pretty different story of what happened than reality.
God, I want
Well, look, he's going to forget that I told him it, but I never let him forget what happened. It was way too funny. I mean,
How much shit does he get still about crying like a baby?
look, he's got 2 brothers, so there's your answer. He goes, hey, I'm Red. Your captain. He kind of points at you. Bali's looking over towards you, and then she sort of like glances back at the elven dancer, and she goes, yeah, you're going to tell me everything. And she's going to like grab his hand.
I don't think I can stop this.
Yes, greetings, Roland. Prongor says.
Isaac, you're not gonna believe this.
There's no way you can top what has already gone through my mind this night.
As soon as you grab him, remembering that something exciting just occurred, you can't remember what.
Oh God.
Yeah, something just happened. I don't know.
Did it involve Red?
Statistically, probably. But it
You-
involved Euphemia.
You came from that direction, so let's just walk that way.
Okay. Stay with me.
Okay.
Okay. We're heading back over.
All right, so you see Bali, Euphemia, and Red. You're like gonna like you look back where you were. They're not there. You like glance and like your eyes like hit them in the crowd, and you suddenly remember and you turn around and then you forget.
We keep walking.
All right, you walk back to where you were, and there's nobody there.
Wait. Are they not there anymore?
They're not there anymore.
It was funny.
I believe you, Roland. If you're this excited about something, I believe every word you're
It
saying.
was really funny.
Prongor's like,
You said
goes-
you're-
usually people tend to remember funny things.
Not when it involves this guy.
What guy?
Yeah.
I do wish it
has
was
been
easier
fun.
to pick out our captain in a crowd.
I know.
Isaac's gonna let's see. And he's gonna tap his staff twice and cast locate person. I think she's in that corner over there.
As you head over in that direction, Juniper, Zarafan is going to help you stand.
She was already standing. He was just holding her up.
Are you all right?
She sniffs and I'll be fine.
He says,
I'm sorry.
it's not your fault. What did it say?
He's planning something, clearly. Something to do with getting rid of fate, not fearing it anymore, and why he did what he did. But I can't. Oh god, crap. She has perfect memory, so it'll pop up in her freaking brain every time she thinks about it.
Every time you try to think of it, it feels blurry.
Oh, thank God.
Like you can't quite make it out. And you realize that it must have something to do with fate.
She goes, I couldn't read it. It felt like when he spoke. He said that if I could understand it, I would understand why he did what he did.
May I try?
Not here.
Probably wise.
I can't hold you up right now. She's visibly shaking in his arms at the moment.
Let's take a moment, he says. Try to get you warm. He's going to rub on your back. I'm sorry. For everything.
I can't believe he... It's been millions of years. Why now?
Fate's breaking.
Why is he helping Satan's hand? Why is he helping Tantalus?
They must be pawns.
I shouldn't be surprised after what he did. But I can't help but... Is it wrong to hope that the reason was real?
Yes. He's monstrous, Juniper.
He was my father.
Your father is gone.
Both of them, I know. I know.
If we get a chance, we need to stop by Eliona. I have to talk to Rathian.
Yes.
He may know something more. I'll write to Cassian.
Are you... Yeah. Why did you send him?
Because he's pretty decent at empathy. If he can change somebody like Isaac, then I figure Mirbin should be a snap.
I'm not sure I agree with that particular logic.
Okay.
I
Well,
think
perhaps I
Mirbin's about-
understated how difficult the task was, but if somebody can do it, then I think he can.
Please distract me.
He's going to begin to sing.
She leans into him and listens.
All of you are suddenly coming together. You see red. This time, you keep on him. As you head towards him, he is discussing. Yeah, and she just was in the white boar. I saw her up there. She was cute, and then she was fighting, and...
Euphemia banged red.
Yes.
And then he like does like a kick, like yes!
What does that do? Please tell me I need to know.
You brought me over here for this type
I've got
of...
one already.
Does he have one?
Oh no. This rocks.
I knew this was coming as soon as you mentioned red coming. I was like, oh god. Do you say that like loudly?
Yeah. Oh yeah. He's so excited.
I think Euphemia
You
would
hear
just
a-
look up with her alcohol, just like,
You hear like this, like fat, like half-orc nobleman with like a monocle who's like, "Who is Euphemia?"
Captain, I promise I had no idea why he was bringing me over here.
I couldn't remember why I was bringing him over here.
Prongor's like taking notes real quick.
Oh, please, yes. Good job, Prongor.
what are you writing? She says.
He says, "Since this man I cannot remember who said what, I'm writing it all down while I'm here.
You don't need to write that down.
He needs to write that down.
On behalf of my master, it would be ill-advised for me not to take notes in the presence."
Oh, this is the best party ever.
Euphemia would blink at him because she's looked away. Wait, what notes are you writing?
You're going to suddenly hear, and you guys look over and just like see the crowd has parted, and Queen Estrid is standing like directly in front of you, and there's this line of like royal knights spread out at a V shape right behind her.
And they all heard it.
Euphemia just takes the drink that she had taken from Bali since she dropped her other and just knocks it just straight back.
Do you have inspiration?
Yes.
You're going to see she sort of like stands there for a minute. As the queen sort of holds there regally for a moment, trying to clear the air, you're going to hear a silence fall on the entirety of the ballroom. As she clears her throat slightly and then like looks at you all like, "If you're going to continue, please do so after I speak." And then she's going to open her mouth, and we will call it there for the time being, Noble Heroes. Thank you for joining us. Please give us a like and a subscribe if you enjoy our content. We really appreciate it. And remember, do try this at home.